Once upon a time, in the distant city of Ahsoka, there lived a young man named Donald. He was married to Oi, and together they were blessed with 2 beautiful daughters. Donald and Oi had met at the campus fellowship at the University of Benin, where they had been steadfast in their faith and worked together in service to God. Their strong friendship blossomed into a deep bond, and they prayed together before their marriage. They adhered to biblical principles and values, making sure they built their life on a solid foundation. After graduation, they married in a modest Christian ceremony, filled with love and hope for the future. Despite their faith and efforts, life after marriage was not easy. Donald struggled to secure a well-paying job, and after many months of applying, he and Oi made do with smaller jobs that barely paid the bills. They continued their search, believing that God would provide for them in time. 3 years into their marriage, they were blessed with their second child, Zeram. Then, unexpectedly, Donald received an interview invitation from a cooperative bank, where he had applied over a year ago. His joy was immense when he landed the job, and the salary provided some relief to their financial burdens. Oi, too, worked as a teacher at a private school, balancing her time between her job and caring for their children. Despite the relief of Donald's new job, life was still a challenge for them. Though the salary was sufficient to meet their needs, they faced ongoing financial difficulties. Oi remained steadfast, supporting her husband in his search for a more stable job. One Friday afternoon, as Oi returned home from work, she noticed that Donald looked unusually sad. His face bore a heavy burden, and when she asked him about it, he handed her a letter. The letter revealed the devastating news. Donald's bank had been affected by new policies, and as a result, he had been laid off. The job that had seemed like a breakthrough was now gone. As the news sank in, Oi struggled to keep her composure. She consoled Donald, reminding him that this setback was not the end of their journey. They both turned to God in prayer, seeking strength to face the challenges ahead. Oi reassured Donald that God had a plan for them, and that their breakthrough would come in time. In the meantime, they had to rely on Oi's salary and the small snacks she sold at the school to make ends meet. The stress of unemployment weighed heavily on Donald, and he began to feel like he was failing his family. Oi, however, continued to pray for him and encouraged him not to give up. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, with no sign of a new job for Donald. The pressure was beginning to take its toll on their relationship. Donald became distant and frustrated, unable to provide for his family the way he had hoped. Oi, though struggling herself, kept the household together. She constantly reminded Donald that God was still in control and that he should not lose hope. However, as Donald continued to search for jobs, he felt more and more hopeless. Oi's encouragement helped him, but the lack of results wore him down. One day, while watching TV together, Donald and Oi saw an advertisement for a prophetess who was coming to their city. The advertisement promised miraculous healings and breakthroughs for those who attended her services. Feeling desperate, Donald decided to attend, hoping that this could be the breakthrough they had been praying for. Oi, though uncertain, encouraged him to go, trusting that God would lead them to the right path. Donald attended the prophetess service and was amazed by the powerful testimonies he heard. He returned home excited, sharing how he felt the prophetess had a special gift and was able to speak directly to people's hearts. The following day, Donald was among the first to meet with the prophetess for counseling. During the session, she revealed startling information about his life, including his relationship with Oi and details about her work. However, when the prophetess told him that Oi was not the will of God for him, and that his life would continue to suffer if he remained married to her, Donald was left in a state of shock. This revelation planted a seed of doubt in his heart, even though he knew deep down that he and Oi had prayed together before their marriage and had received God's confirmation. Confused and torn, Donald didn't share the details of the prophetess message with Oi, fearing that it would upset her. Donald returned home that evening and shared the good news with Oi. He had finally secured a job. However, the job offer came with conditions that raised red flags. The prophetess offered him a position as her personal driver, with a monthly salary that seemed too good to turn down. Oi, although happy that Donald had found work, felt uneasy about the situation, especially when Donald mentioned that the prophetess was a single woman. Despite her concerns, Oi tried to remain supportive, but deep down, she knew something wasn't right. As Donald began working for the prophetess, he started coming home later and later each night. He became increasingly distant, and Oi noticed that their relationship was no longer as strong as it once had been. They stopped praying together, and Donald was always preoccupied with his work. Oi, feeling neglected, tried to confront him about the situation, but Donald's response was defensive. He became angry when she questioned the nature of his relationship with the prophetess. Oi, concerned for her marriage, reminded him of their vows and the importance of keeping their relationship sacred. However, Donald refused to listen, and tensions grew. As the days passed, Oi became more unsettled. She felt that the distance between them was growing, and Donald seemed more focused on his work with the prophetess than on their family. She went to the church to seek advice from the prophetess, but was told that she needed to trust her husband and stop trying to control him. Oi returned home, exhausted and unsure of what to do. Donald's behavior continued to change, and he began to ignore her concerns. The love and connection they once shared seemed to be slipping away, and Oi feared that their marriage was in serious danger. Oi watched in disbelief as her once loving husband Donald became distant, indifferent to her and their children. He only sent money for their upkeep as he traveled with Prophetess, his new companion. Oi, managing life on her own, hoped for a message from Donald, but his phone was off and Prophetess wouldn't take her calls. One morning, Oi anxiously checked her phone and found a message from Donald. Her hands trembled as she read, "I've moved on. The years with you were filled with disappointment and regret. I wish you well, but I'm done." The words shattered her. She tried calling, but it was clear Donald was gone for good. An unexpected gift from a beloved sweetheart. Devastated, Oi called her friend and church member, who rushed over to comfort her. In her sorrow, Oi questioned her sins, wondering what had gone wrong. Her friend, though deeply saddened by the situation, urged her to hold on to faith and stay strong for her children. Months turned into years, and Oi gave up waiting for Donald. She focused on building a new life for herself and her children, securing a job with a foreign NGO. Meanwhile, Donald and Prophetess grew their ministry in Abuja, amassing wealth and influence, living a luxurious life. Years later, Ohi's life took an unexpected turn when she saw news about Donald and Prophetess. They had been involved in a scandal where Prophetess, using fraudulent methods, caused the death of a pregnant woman. The police investigation revealed Prophetess's dark past, and both she and Donald were arrested. All of the victims who suffered after the attack were actually sent to prison, despite the police advice. The police discovered that Prophetess was not Nigerian, but had been a part of a fraudulent gang in her home country. She had used her inherited powers to deceive and manipulate people. Her church was shut down, and she and Donald faced charges. Prophetess was extradited back to her country after serving 2 years in prison. Donald, now free, stood on the streets, homeless and without any support. His wealth and luxurious lifestyle had crumbled, leaving him with nothing. One afternoon, Ohi was at the mall when she encountered a disheveled Donald. He begged for forgiveness, apologizing for the pain he had caused. Ohi, however, had moved on with her life. She had no resentment, but she refused to allow him back into her life. Ohi channeled her energy into her NGO, which helped battered women and those abandoned by their husbands. Her daughters graduated from university, secured jobs, and found happiness. Ohi herself was blessed with grandchildren and joy in her later years. As the story ends, viewers are asked to reflect on the moral lessons of Ohi's journey. Did she make the right decision not taking Donald back? And what about Prophetess's fraudulent prophecies? The story encourages viewers to share their thoughts and subscribe to the channel for more such lessons.